So what is clairsentience anyway? We're going to cover that right after this. Hey guys, it's Mel here from Mel's Mediumship, here to share my passion for educating others and helping them on their spiritual path. Thanks for joining us today. Let's get started. Hey everybody, it's Mel back again with my brother.
Hi everybody.
This is Matt. We are on video number 3 of our Claire series, and today we will be talking about clairsentience.
Clairsentience, also known as
clear feeling.
clear feeling.
So clairsentience is one of the most underestimated, I feel, clairs.
I'll admit this is one that I don't know very much about.
Okay. And most people, that's because it's so easy to just play it off of, oh, that was a hair, or that was a bug, or picking up on emotions and feelings. It's very, very hard to separate that from your own emotions and feelings when you are a clairsentient. You tend to absorb that and just get pissy or sad or whatever it is that you're picking up and not really understand why all of a sudden you're just being ridiculous. And like, why am I
in such a bad mood?
On? Yeah, and when really it's usually something, either an energy around you or someone else's energy around you that you're picking up on. It doesn't have to be just spirit, you guys, because every living person has a spirit also inside you. So you can pick up on, definitely on living people's spirit energy as well, if it's negative or sad or happy.
Okay, now let me ask
crazy,
you this:
whatever.
Is it all just like external? Is there any projection? Is that okay? So for the longest time, I had come across a term, hyper emotive, and it essentially described the I pause when I use the word ability, but the ability for my emotions to affect other people. And I notice it a lot, that if I'm in a very bad mood, even if I'm very good at pretending like I'm not in a bad mood, but internally I'm just miserable or whatever, everybody around me gets that way.
Absolutely. That's totally normal. That's all animals do that. Okay, so if you see a pack of wolves and one of them starts getting all like, what do the rest of them do?
They all start doing it too.
They all start doing it too, and they don't necessarily know why at first, but they're like, yo, something's happening.
Right.
What's going on? And I think you see that in like crowd situations, like...
Okay, yeah. One person gets anxious and all of a sudden you see it's kind of a domino effect.
Riots, for example, it always starts with 1 or 2 people.
Right.
And then it turns into this thing, right? Everybody, it's contagious. Or like a football game, people are acting one way or the other, and then pretty soon the whole crowd's doing it, or the people around you are doing it. It's a happy emotion, whatever. The other one's more negative, but it can happen with any emotion. So if this is something that resonates with you, you feel like you can connect with other people's emotions and energies and whatnot, you might want to look into what it's like to be an empath, because most people that are clairsentient are an empath, which just means that that's how you sense most spirit. You pick up on emotions, or if they were ill, you can pick up on, oh, my stomach kind of hurts. I don't really know why my stomach hurts. Like, there's no reason my stomach should hurt at the moment. Sometimes you're picking up on spirit energies and you just don't know what that is. Like, you don't know how to translate into that. And well, that's not me. That's somebody else.
Right.
Giving me that feeling. If someone shows up in your house and they're terrified because they just died, or whatever their problem is, and they're anxious or scared, a lot of times you can start getting anxious and scared and not really know why. Like, you're just sitting there watching TV or something, and all of a sudden you're like, what the?
Okay, so now my question to you is, I know that a lot of times when you feel scared or you feel like there's something creepy in the room, that's just because there's a spirit there, and they're drawing on your energy to try and communicate with you. So how can you tell the difference between somebody that's just there drawing energy from you, which causes you to feel anxious and whatever? How can you tell the difference between somebody that's just trying to communicate with you and somebody else's like emotional state, a spirit state?
Good question. Number one, they're not drawing your energy. They're not like sucking your soul or anything. That's not a
Poor
good way
choice
to
of
put
words.
it. Right. Okay. So basically, think of it like this: they're raising your energy level to be. Spirits exist on a plane that's higher than ours. Okay, energy-wise. So we exist down here. We're bogged down by our physical bodies. Okay. They float around up here where it's all hee, the,
all free.
right, the atoms are denser, the energies are higher, okay? So when they want to connect with us, they have to raise our energies to be up here, okay?
Right.
So basically that's the happy, the high energy, the anxiety, the energies that we get, okay? That's the energy they need. So it makes us feel anxious because we're like, oh, why am I getting excited? Like, what's going on, you know? Where the lower energies are more the negativity, the sadness, the just kind of be bored, kind of the funk, they raise our energies is more what they're doing than like drawing our energy. They're not like sucking it out. They're just raising our energy up a little to match sort of where they will lower theirs just a tiny bit.
So that we're on the same
so we can be
plane,
together,
more or
so we can
less.
communicate.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay.
So that's kind of more what it is. Just
All right.
sounds scary when you say they're drawing your energy. I understood what you meant, but I just don't want to scare anybody. Like, I was thinking Harry Potter, the Dementors, like,
Right.
it's not like that at all. It's not what they're doing. So that makes us feel anxious, and that's when you need to just stop, take a few deep breaths, and be like, okay, just tune in and say, okay,
There's somebody here.
somebody's here.
Okay. What do you need?
What's up? Now, if it's somebody else's emotions that are that, it won't go away. Usually it will go away.
It does. Yeah. When you stop and you're like, okay, there's a spirit here. I know they're just trying to communicate with me. Okay, hold on. All right. What do you need? If you come down, or maybe you
just get used to it.
You get used to it. Yeah.
The energy won't change. It'll stay the constant, even if you're tuned in. And then you can recognize, like, oh, okay, this spirit's feeling, because you're tuned in, so you're going to be able to know that, like, oh, that's not me. That's whoever.
I'll say I had one experience where I think it was somebody who just died, and they came like running into my house, freaking out, and I'm kind of like, whoa, calm down, calm down. And they ran off again, like they had no time to talk to me.
You probably just didn't know how, or what was. Yeah, I mean, they were panicking.
Panicking is the word. Yeah, they just ran in, and they were kind of like, and I'm like, yo, whoa.
Deep breaths.
Deep breaths. Hey, come here, talk to me, and then they ran off. Go talk to my sister.
Mm-hmm.
I do that a lot.
And they do.
There was one time, there was the little girl. She came over.
Did you send her to my house?
I did, yeah.
Oh.
I was trying to find a job, and yep. And this little, I'm online late at night, and this little girl's over here, and she's like talking to me, and she just like keeps bugging me, and I tried to like talk to her, but I couldn't. This was when I was just starting to get into accepting my gifts and starting to develop it, so I couldn't make the connection. But she was still there, and it was still like insistent, and so I'm like, go talk to my sister. She did.
That's a story Dory shared on her channel. I'll link that up down below. Look in the description. I'll probably put a card up here too, so look for that. But yeah, I'll definitely link that. She tells the story beautifully, so I'll let you just go over to Dory's. A lot of you have already seen this probably, but yeah, definitely. I guess I forgot that you had told me.
Yeah, I sent her your way.
Anyway, symptoms or signs that you may be clairsentient, okay? So you're highly sensitive. You can pick up on the vibe of a room. You walk in, you can feel like something's going on here. So you're in a place with a large crowd, and you start feeling weird emotions like happy, sad, crazy, just extreme emotions that aren't really yours, like you were just like, whoa.
This is kind of why I don't like going to crowds.
Right, I don't like it either. I get overwhelmed, definitely.
Yep.
When you go to someone's house, you can start to feel sort of their emotions and the emotion of the house. So like if there was a fight recently, or they were sad, or even happy, any emotion really, you can pick that up and start to kind of feel that also.
I'll say it's really hard for me to not pick up on it, because it happens, but it's just it's hard for me to recognize that all of a sudden I have this incredibly different emotional state than what I did before.
Mm-hmm.
You would think, seeing as how it's such a drastic change, usually it would be easy, but it's not.
It kind of happens slower than that.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you're just like,
Well,
I feel like I want to rage at somebody all of a sudden.
Right.
And that was
Or
totally
it's like,
fine.
wow, I'm really up right now.
Yeah.
What changed? What happened?
Yep. You feel a lot of empathy with people. So when you're talking to somebody about something, whether it's happy, sad, whatever emotion, you can empathize with them. So you start to feel sort of the same emotion they are feeling or sharing. You can start to feel that in yourself.
This is, I don't want to call it a problem with me, but I feel other people's emotions so much that it's really hard for me to be the counselor for somebody when they're having an issue, because I feel it very strongly.
Because you start having an issue too.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, exactly. That's where you just need to learn to separate your energy from theirs and put up those shields. You can feel the presence of spirits. So instead of seeing or hearing them, you get a tingly feeling in your arm or on your head, or each spirit has a different calling card. So depending on what spirit it is, you'll get a different feeling. Some people get a really out of breath feeling, or kind of a heaviness on your chest. Not to be confused with like, a physical issue, but just kind of feel like it's a little bit harder to breathe, like, 'cause the air get a little thicker or something. I get the tingly, like it feels like a bug or a hair on your arm kind of thing. I get that a lot. It's one of my biggest things. That's one thing that's how I've always kind of, my first sign that there was spirit around. Was the creepy crawly, it feels like a hair sort of, on your skin, right? And I get like a buzz, like a messing with my hair kind of thing. I get
that every now and then too,
Yeah.
especially when I'm like really focused on something. I'm deep in a project that I'm doing. It's one of those where you're like,
Stop it. Yeah,
is there
exactly.
a spider on me?
Right. I always immediately think bug, like, stop it. And then I'm like, nope, nothing there. Another thing is you tend to, this is one I get a lot when people are discussing injuries. I can start to kind of feel that pain. Like if they say, oh, I stubbed my toe, it hurts so bad. Or like, especially if one of my kids gets hurt. Or if they say, oh, my stomach hurts. Or if something is wrong with one of my kids, I will definitely start to feel that in myself, and I have to kind of be like, nope, I can't. Like, I can't as a mom start feeling that. It's not mine. It's somebody else's. I need to just
Separate.
Nope, not mine. So that's clairsentience, everybody, in just a nutshell and just a general overview, but and kind of how it manifests for us. Definitely, if you feel like this is something that you have, explore that. Do some research, make sure it's a credible source. And if you have any questions, absolutely leave a comment, or if you don't feel comfortable doing that, in my about section on my channel, there is an email that you can definitely hit me up at, and I will get back to you. It's not as scary as it sounds. None of the senses really are, and I was really surprised at how easy and how not scary it was when I finally started getting
into it.
Oh,
that's what that is.
Exactly. So I hope that these are helpful for you guys. I'm going to say thank you to Matt.
Thank you for having me.
And as always, keep being a spirit friend, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.